Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we have a lot to talk about. Stock market records are still going. Happening now. What will real estate do? I've been waiting for the pundits. I've been waiting to hear from you. What do you think real estate's going to do? The pundits are sitting here on TV saying everything. It can go up, it can go down. What do you think's going to happen? Because are you going to be buying any real estate? And also, what else are you going to invest in? Because there's no way around it. In this next bull run, you better grab the bull by the horns, because where it ends up, you don't want to be left behind. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear and click the bell below so I get the latest updates. And I know I'm a little bit late this evening. Well, surprise, surprise. Thank you, everybody, for hanging, because tonight's going to be very, very interesting. I know I shouldn't have made the video about the billionaires. I know I shouldn't have been talking about that. But guess what? There's going to be a part two. I ain't scared. Yes, there is some things going on behind the scenes. I'm to go over in Restaurante Val, her beachfront Java. That's right. We're going to have to support our friends and family and members and whoever going to get ramrodded by the big guys. What do I mean by that? Those who have more money that can invest in advertising and who can add another and pops of the world. Our Republic, I see you out there in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic on the live stream. That's right, on Aruba Street. Los Corrales, to be exact, on Aruba Street. Live music. I believe it's tonight. It's Monday, isn't it? I believe it's also Friday night. I believe it's Saturday night. Live music, some sports, some entertainment, some bar and grill, which is some of the best foods. And by the way, my tenders, I love them, on tap. I damn near order 90% of the time I get my tenders with fries. And of course, my rum and coke. That's what we do at Our Republic, ladies and gentlemen, down in Bavaro. And again, for our SSN Lifestyle, Punta Cana Investors Forum, down below in the description box, you may want to come, because this may be the last one that we do, December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to see lawyers. We're going to see attorneys. We're going to go see the loan officers. We're going to go over and check out some projects. And we will, if you want to buy some real estate, we will go see some deals. No qualifying, no credit check, nobody stopping you. And that is awesome, because no barriers to entry means that you can buy assets that you own. Now, into amazing. Simply amazing. Well, it looks like I'm going to be stuck tonight. So, If you guys can hear me, I don't know, but it looks like we have a big time problem in the background. We have to speak. Then you're going to have to do some things. It appears. Let's see here. Say not. I frozen. Let me go over here. Yes, I am frozen. It appears I'm frozen on Instagram, so that means I'm probably frozen on screen. I don't know, but I can see we have people in the house tonight. But I can't do anything. I can't. Wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be one of them nights. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. It looks like we have some technical errors, and Laverne Penix is here. Mr. Cool himself is in the house. Another investor is in the house. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And I know it's bad out and they're trying to block, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, this is a thing. It's really a thing. You guys have no idea. That video I made, this last video that you guys have not seen that was suppressed, the one about billionaires, that is very talking about. In fact, I'm talking about more than one. So again, if you think things are crazy, wait till you try to get me and you through this live stream tonight, because we're going to be held up already. Brian P. is here, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dividend has arrived. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. I thank you. He's another investor. Mr. Dividend's in the house. Hello, Eric. You are freezing. I know, man. I know. And it looks like this is what's going to happen tonight. This is why I was late. I couldn't get in. I've been locked out. It looks like I might have to do an alternative other than StreamYard, because apparently they're able to do something with that feed. So I might have to change it up. We might have to go someplace else. So that way we get this information out to you guys, because no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, that empowers you. And one of the things that I'm about to drop tomorrow is going to be on what we talked about 3-4 years back, when in our live streams there were people asking, what's going on with these corporations buying homes? What did I say then? Let them. Homes are liabilities. Let tax bills come out later. I can real quick. Looks like I can't. Damn, too late. I'm too late. Okay. All right. That's cute. That's cute. All right. It looks like this isn't going to go too well. Nope. Freezing up is the key. This looks like this live stream ain't going to happen tonight if this crap keeps up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have situations. Now, let's see what else we're going to talk about tonight because Brian P's in the house. He said, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Everything would be fine if we didn't have enemies, but it's okay. Again, what you guys don't understand is this is what happens when you are part of the government system. You're helping people try to understand what's going on. And now you also have to understand there's always somebody in the background trying to mucky up the works. So what we're going to do is probably starting on Wednesday, I might have to try OBS or use a different platform. So I'm just streaming direct instead of going through another property. So we'll see how that works out. Smash that like button. Yes, please do that. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell, go down to the bottom, sign up for all of the social media platforms, sign up for our newsletter email list at the very bottom of the description box. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to get into the Punta Cana Investors Forum, December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I would suggest you go to the ssnlifestyle.com website and sign up. It does not include airfare. It does not include hotel. If you're going to get a hotel, stay in the Los Corrales area for right now. The reason I say that is because Los Corrales and Punta Cana, that is the area that has already been built for tourists, meaning wherever you're staying within 50 yards is going to be a little mini mart, a grocery store, a restaurant, a bar, pharmacy, generally. You don't have to go too far. And then the beach is going to be generally somewhere between 50 yards to 200 yards away, depending on where you stay. But the point I'm trying to say is it's also not going to be that expensive December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're talking about studios, one bedrooms. They're going to probably be $50 a night, $60 per night. That's it in that area. Of course, you can always go with the all-inclusives. They have those in the area as well. But that's what we're trying to do out here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so don't worry about that. Brian P says, I got the notification and saw the video. Thank you so much. Let me know what you thought about that latest, newest SSN Lifestyle video. I think that's the one I had out there, so I appreciate that. Let me know. Jawway J, another investor's in the house. He knows stocks. He knows real estate. He knows what to invest in, and he's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream as the show still must go on. And he says his tagline this evening, hello, SSN Nation. Hope everyone is doing well. Received a notification, saw the trailer, and he did the trifecta. He smashed that like button. Thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate it. Curtis Davis is in the house. You guys know who this is. Mr. Financial is here. He also has his own channel, Chili Davis. And what does he do on Chili Davis channel? He does what we kind of do here, except he gets more in depth. He actually helps people with news, updates, and information throughout the day with the stock market. That's right. So that helps you out greatly because you should have your money in the stock market. If the top 10% of the wealthiest have their money in the stock market, why don't you? I'm saying they used to own 89% of the stock market. They had got 4 more percentage points. They're up to 93% of the stock market is owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest. Oh my God, I want to be dragged along for the ride. So that's why some of you have bought Tesla, dragged along for the ride. That's why some of you bought NVIDIA, AMD, Chipotle, dragged along for the ride. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you get your free stocks. And also, let's get with Curtis Davis. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says, hey, Eric, good evening, SSN fam. ABMM. That's his tagline. He created the always be making money. That's what we try to get you guys to understand. Dividend investing at this point in time is a must. Annuities. You need something that's going to down the line, not next year, not 5 years, 10 years from now, has to be able to generate some money for you. You don't know what the state of the economy is going to be. You have no idea if you're even going to have a job. Oh, yes, Brian P., I got that email you sent me. Again, I don't even know what I have to say anymore. This is no surprise. I told my story for the last 5 years. I told people Bank of America, Wells Fargo in the 80s was stealing money. They stole out of my account. And that's why I've never, if anybody ever tells me I got to go to Bank of America and I got to open an account there, I'm going to tell you it's not happening. I will never do business with Bank of America or Wells Fargo or Aquin Financial Mortgage Company. You can forget it. All right. Santander, all these clowns. Because if you live long enough and you're in the financial industries and you have money or you have property or you have things that they actually can manipulate, they have screwed people over time and time again. So this thing I'm going to bring it up, Brian P. So I want to let you know I got to show this because people never believe what I used to tell them. Can you imagine in the 80s me telling people Bank of America stole money out of my account like poof, and they'd look at you like, oh, yeah. What did you do? What do you mean, what did I do? I just told you I had money in the bank, and when I went there, it's gone. Poof. No. You must have, you have a tax lien. You got some owe money to some. No, do you not hear what I'm saying? Poof. Gone. I mean, so you can imagine when I came up with the next one, it was, I think B of A was the first one. Then when Wells Fargo did it, I would say it again. No, man, you must be doing something illegal. Okay. Now look at all these people getting screwed over. Thank you so much, Brian P. with the $1.99. I humbly appreciate the donation, the super chat. Thank you so much, my man, along with that icon next to your name, which means he's a member of the channel. That's what that means. All right. Great information on the video. Thank you so much, Brian P. I appreciate it. Well, there's a part two. And again, I'll say it again. The billionaires, they don't want you guys to think for yourselves. They don't want people like me out here. They got to make sure. They're like, hold on, shut that down. We're out here on social media. We're out here on mainstream media outlets. We're on business channels. And what we're saying, we're on as experts. The experts are on so that people look up to them because they're billionaires. That's what people do around the world. Soon as somebody says they have a lot of money, everybody goes, oh, I believe everything they say. Because little did you know, they have advantages that you will never have in your lifetime. Because if you actually had the same advantages, you would be just as successful. Now, don't get me wrong. There's quite a few people on the planet that are very smart and they do their thing. But all I'm saying is there's also quite a few people that have advantages and they're able to use those advantages, such as get to be on a media outlet that millions of people watch, and you dictate to them, oh, this would be bad if this happens. Where I sit there and I could tell you what they're saying is BS. What they're trying to do is what they're saying sounds good, sounds interesting, but the bottom line is it helps them. It doesn't help you. Now, the difference is we're here at the SSN Nation, Stop Struggling Now, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help you. And that's why the Punta Cana Investors Forum, no credit check, no qualifying, getting deeded property in the Dominican Republic, up and coming spot where tourism numbers are rising year after year. This will be the third year of tourist numbers rising, breaking all-time record highs. And they're going to do it next year, and they're going to do it the year after that, barring unforeseen circumstances. And you want to buy property or real estate when the prices are low, which is now. Now, that's why you're dangerous when you don't need the government. All right. And you're more dangerous when you can leave the United States or whatever country you reside in, and you also can stay in another location. Now you have power, because now, even if they jack you over in one spot, you're not tied to a geographical location. You can be like, F this, I'll just go live in another place. It's going to treat me a little nicer. Simple. But a lot of you don't have this luxury. A lot of you aren't dual citizenships. You don't have that. So that would be another thing that you might want to get. This isn't what we're going to talk about tonight, but now that we're in this lane, I figured I might as well give you guys some more information. You might want to have dual citizenship if you can get it. You might want to buy property in another country. So then that way, check and see what happens if you own property in that country. Can you get residency or something? Because again, if banks are taking money out of your account, if a bank can go out of business and they give the checking and savings accounts to another bank so that those people still have their bank accounts, but that same bank that went out of business holds the brokerage money. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there's a bank that did that too. I'm going to bring it up one of these days because it's not official that everybody knows about. It's in Georgia. I'll say that. And I'll give you the name one day. Because they're not like Wells Fargo, Bank of America. They're just this little banking industry, little cottage bank. But we'll get to that another day. But can you believe brokerage accounts are hemmed up by banks? Yes, it's true. SIPC, FIFC, whatever the hell their name is. They're like, oh, no, we can't help you right now. I'm like, man, what are you guys talking about? But that's another story, another day, probably when I'm retired, when this will be resolved. But nonetheless, a lot of stuff goes on, ladies and gentlemen, and you guys are out here sleepwalking and not realizing you're being left to go walking off of a plank. And you guys, I've been saying it for the last 5 years. I told you before, middle class is going to get wiped out. If you didn't believe me, you should now. And if you're not going to believe about the upper middle class being wiped out, those making six figures, they're coming for you now. So that's only going to leave the top 10% of the wealthiest people left that's going to be able to maneuver. Everybody else is going to be living paycheck to paycheck or underwater. And don't misunderstand. The same powers that be are going to be taking, not bank accounts. They'll start taking your homes. All right? Don't be confused. Hoarders. The powers that be are hoarders. They aren't like watching out for you. All right? Just keep that in mind. So anytime somebody says, we want money from the top of the food chain, then you're a threat. Or if you're taking money out of their pockets, you're a threat. And they can squash you while you're small. They can't squash you if you control the machine. If you control congressmen, banks, Wall Street, which hardly none of us watching right now control, then you always can be squashed. They can put mechanisms in place, like messing up live streams with the ISPs. I'm just saying, as an example. Joe Nay, another investors in the house who I'll see in Punta Cana, December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, when we're going to make things happen down there. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he's in the house with the icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline. Good evening, SSN Nation. Hope everybody is doing great on this Money Making Monday live stream. Exactly. All-time record highs. So should you be in the stock market? Hell yes. What should you invest in? What should you invest in? I know. There's going to be a lot of things going down here. And since, let me see. Did I miss somebody tonight? Since Victor Marrero is not, he is here. I was going to say, I'm going to add some things. He's added some stuff I see already. I'm going to add some other stuff he didn't add yet. Let's see here. I got to go with SCHD. I have to go with QQQ. I have to go with, I'm trying to think because he's listed some things down there. I'm trying to think of, VOO, VTI, VCR. Those are all Vanguard groups. VOOG, all of these. That's Vanguard. They have the least expensive, sometimes I want to say mutual funds, but ETFs. So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And go to ssnlifestyle.com if you want to join me, Joe Nay, and a few other SSN Nation members December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Learn about real estate, find out about business that you can do, because that's why we go see the lawyers on first day. So then that way you can ask the lawyers straight out of their mouths what's going down. And yes, this is not a consultation. We could be in there 45 minutes. We could be in there an hour. We could be in there an hour and a half. Questions get answered. And it's no additional cost, by the way. It's on the house. That's right. So you can get the top of the food chain lawyers to answer questions. Then you're going to know it's power about anything. Now you have the answers. Now, if you want to do something, you can hire anybody you want. But like I say, you want to go with probably SS and Nation Connection, because Johan Confidante, Glennie from Hatche, Cuevas and Associates, they're like in the top 5 of all lawyers in the country. All right. So just letting you guys know, this is what happens. This is what we do. All right. So get over there, ssnlifestyle.com, sign up. Now, Brian P., you are right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Eric. Picked up some YMAG and YMAX stocks today. Very well. Very good. Oh, that's Yield Max ETFs, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. You want YMAG and YMAX, according to Victor Marrero. I believe they're giving out weekly dividends. I haven't even looked, quite frankly. I'm very, very busy. It's time to go back to Cali for a second. But the point is, some of these, I think it's YMAG and YMAX that's going to be giving out dividends every week. I'll double check, but go to Yield Max ETFs and go study, because if you want 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50% or more return on your money, it's high risk, high rewards, but nonetheless, they're on the stock market. They're regulated. And so go check it out. They're doing things a little bit differently. Some people are out here winning, like Mr. Dividend himself. He told us on Friday that he has 2,200 shares of some Yield Max ETF stock. And I believe it gave out 98 cents. That's ULTY. That's over $2,000. ULTY is like, I think it's $11 stock, if I'm not mistaken. So ULTY, that's another one. Put on your list. Get your pen, pads, and papers ready. Now, we're going to try and come out of this little chit chat that I'm doing here with the little icon. I'm going to try and come out of this shortly, but this is going to be very interesting, because I'm going to be doing something in the background, I think. But Jonay, they try to freeze us, but SSN keeps it up. Exactly. Ain't going to stop, man. This has been the whole life. Me against the machine. Brian and some ULTY. Exactly. He got some more. That's all I can say. We are making money in here, says Brian P. Joe Nay says, I got the notification, saw the trailer, and I just KO'd that like button. Oh, I love to hear that. Everybody, wherever you're listening from, just make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you share the video with your friends, because where else are you going to get something that says, hey, you can get 25, 35, 45% return on your money buying stocks, which are liquid. How about 10% on your money, or 7 or 15? Isn't that good too? It beats whatever somebody's keeping in a bank account that a bank can yank at any time. All right. Just saying. You guys keep playing out here. Victor Marrero, the new retiree, the businessman, the investor. He's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name. I greatly appreciate that. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's what we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then sometimes we have special live streams. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings, that's where we're at here. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. And here's the Victor Marrero high yield dividend EFTs paying this week. Oh, it is the 23rd of the month. Look at this. YMAX, YMAG, USOI, FEPI, QQQI, SPYL. I think it's SPY. No, SPY. Wait. What's this SPI? QQQI. What is that? ARR doing the salsa dance. Of course he is. All-time record highs in the stock market. You better be doing the damn salsa dance. You got to be in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Just like you're going to have to be in the real estate game at some capacity, getting some of that free equity. But the point now is you're going to have to start deciding. It's not as simple as just buying real estate anymore. At Brian P, you got ULTY at a good price today. Good for you. $10.40 exactly. And just like we just said, can you believe they gave out 98 cents per share last week? Ladies and gentlemen, that's 10% for the month. Almost. That's insane. And it's not semi-annually dividend payment either. Next month is another one. Can you imagine the reinvestment dollars on that? Instead of taking the cash out, you're reinvesting it. Oh my God. Woo. That only takes you a few years to make a big salsa dance, cha-chinging dance, money blowing up around in the air like you just don't care. It's going to be awesome. Now, let me see if I can get back on screen here. Let's see. All right, we're back on screen, ladies and gentlemen. We had some little background issues, but it's okay. It's all right. It won't stop. Let's see if we're back on the Instagram as well. Yes, we have Macy Perez Torres. I see you on Instagram. Thank you so much. And make sure, everybody, we see you. I'll say it again, ssnlifestyle.com. Go over there and sign up. I want to see you in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is when we're going to go around. But you should arrive the day before on the 1st, and you should leave on the 5th. If you want to open up bank accounts, you might want to bring your bank info, and we're going to get you already set up in advance. So when you arrive, because you can't open bank accounts like you do in America, or even in Europe for that matter, or even in Australia, where you'll be out of the bank within an hour. No, if you try to open up a bank account just walking in, not only are you going to have to wait for about 20, 30 minutes, then when you get there, then you're going to have to sign documents. It's going to take you about, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 hours. And then after that, you still won't have a bank account because they have to approve you. And your approval could be 15 days, a week later, a month later, like in the case of Banco del Oro. So you want to avoid all that? Then you need to have your 6 months worth of bank statements already handy. You need to have your 2024 tax returns and passport. And you need to fax it over to our team, the lawyers. And then that way, when we arrive, you'll already be approved with an appointment. And instead of taking 3, 4, 5 hours to get an account, no, your account will already be set up. So you just have to sign some paperwork, which still is going to take you about an hour to an hour and a half. But that beats the other process, and you'll be walking out with your debit card, except for, well, yes, you'll be walking out with the debit card. So you will be set up. And if you want to open up a business account, that's a whole nother story. But again, that takes an SRL, and no matter who's on your team, an SRL is going to take you 30 days to get approved by the government because they have to approve the name. Unlike the United States, you can just come in to, when you get your LLC, you can just roll in and pick a name that nobody's using. No. In the DR, you have to submit a name, and they like your name to be close to what you're doing or match what you're doing, what your business does. So if they don't like it, you don't get approved. You just wasted 30 to 45 days because that's how long it takes to get approved by the government. Just keep all that in mind. And see, I just gave you some information that, I'm just saying, unless you go through it, you wouldn't know. But you can ask the attorneys. They'll tell you the process. You'll know the process, how much it's going to cost, all of that. So again, this is why we do the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Go over there and sign up. There's a link down below in the description box as well. And you know what? I just realized I have some other outlets that I rarely post. So let me post this SSN Lifestyle link in other chat rooms so people can go check it out. And I'll even post it in the chat room on the live streams as well. I'll post it here just in case people don't want to go and they're on their phones. But Victor Morel just gave everybody a nice little, what shall I say, early Christmas present, because I believe the stock market should continue to break records. There's no reason not to. We already know 2 companies, Microsoft and NVIDIA, already said they're buying billions of dollars worth of their own stocks. NVIDIA, Microsoft are heavily weighted on their indexes. So therefore, that should be a positive upward trend, bull run. And if you get another 2 or 3, like let's just say Amazon, let's get the other guys, right? Tesla, let's just say the top 10 stocks, right? Let's just say Chipotle, which they're not really, but they're aggressive. Let's just say some of these companies, the McDonald's, the Disneys, and all these other companies all of a sudden start doing stock buybacks. Their stock price will go up. It works in reverse. Just like what's happening right now is in reverse with I'll use the DJT stock, right? The reason why DJT stock is going down is not very hard to figure out. Their lockup period for the owners was like 6 or 7 months. That meant they could not sell their stock after their SPAC went public for 6, 7 months. The lockup period just came up. Some of those people are selling millions of shares where there's not millions of buyers. So people are selling the shares. Some people are shorting the stock. So people who are shorting the stock, they'll take it. And those people who are selling it, there's still some people that's going, well, it can't go any lower than 15. It can't go any lower than 14. It can't go any lower than 13. That's what people are thinking. But you're going to be catching a fallen knife because the guys that have millions of shares are saying, damn, this used to be $50. So it's now 10. Well, not 10. It's 15. It's 14. It's 13. It's dropping. And they're going, oh no, man, let me get out 500,000 shares. Let me get out 100,000 shares, because just $3 and you got, let's say, 1 million shares, you just lost $3 million. I mean, in a day. I mean, seriously, you would be selling too, wouldn't you? That's the only way you can tap out what you thought you were going to make as the original investor. So why are you going to sit there and say, hell no, I'm just going to hold on to this? Hell no, you're going to put it in the cycle as well. So the same thing happens down as the way up. If somebody's going to do stock buybacks like NVIDIA and Microsoft and other companies, then you should be buying NVIDIA and Microsoft. They're using billions of their own money over the next 3 years, $50 billion in 3 years to buy back their own shares. That's a lot of money. So clearly their stock price is going to increase, whether it's going to be now or later, but I want in, right? So that's what you should be thinking about, I would think. That's what I'd be thinking about. All right, let me see something here. Did I put the link in? No, I didn't. Yes, I did. I did put the link in for SSN Lifestyle. All right, Victor Morel, he's dropping the dimes, ladies and gentlemen. He's giving you some assist here. Oh, he actually put in the QQQSPYVOOVTISCHDVOOGSCLH and IWM, which I always forget about. You'll be invested in over 4K companies within the USA and international. Exactly. There you go. The IWM. I got to make a note because I always forget about IWM. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You have something to study. This is what we're talking about, stock market records. If there's going to be a bull run, you need to pretty much be holding a lot of diversified ETFs. And like he says, in over 4K companies, that means there could be a rise. You got some mid-cap, high-cap companies. You have a bunch of things that you can take advantage of by just sitting there and letting it work for itself. You don't have to do anything. These are ETFs. You can just sit back and relax and sit there and say, well, 9%, 10%, 15%, whatever they do in the next 12 months, you're going to be very happy. And those same people, whoever started, well, let's just say what it is. After 2008, 2009, if all you had to do was hold, you're going to be doing very well. But then again, that's over the course of 20 years almost. Now, what about the new stuff, right? Can it still get you a 100, 200% return in 10 to 15 years? That's the $1 million question, right? Well, we're going to find out. But the Federal Reserve, what is their job? Their job is to make sure that the markets and their buddies by default keep rising. That's their goal. The fallout from it, though, is the middle class and upper middle class is about to be wiped out, along with the lower middle class, which is already wiped out. So sure, you can make $50,000 or $60,000 a year, but that's not going to save you, because there's something that people don't even realize. A lot of you actually own your homes or own property. Think about this. Think about something. Over the next 5 years, how much in property tax are you going to pay? When you start realizing, and you might be like, well, wait a minute, I'm going to be paying, $3,000 times 15,000, but in the next year, it's going to increase. And the year after that. So if I'm paying 3,000 a month now, it could be 3,500 next year. It could be 4,000 the next year. It could be 4,500. It might be 20 grand over the next 5 years that you're going to have to pay. Or I'll always use my old neighborhood, which I love to death. But in my old neighborhood, we're talking about that would be 60 grand in property taxes for 5 years. And I know there's going to be a special assessment of about 2,500. So we're going to be over 60 grand if I lived at my old location and for 5 years. That's a lot of money. So then when you start thinking about, well, wait a minute, what's my insurance going to be if you own a home? What's my insurance going to be? Or if you have a car, what's my insurance going to be for 5 years? So it's 60,000 for a car and a home in 5 years if you have an upscale. And then what's going to happen with your insurance? We already seen what's happening. You're either not going to be covered or you're going to be covered, but you're going to be paying, who knows, 5 grand. You could easily be paying 60,000 if you live in upscale luxury, 60,000 over 5 years for your property taxes, and 60,000 for your insurance. The way things are going, we haven't even gotten to your healthcare situations. We haven't even gotten to the HOA situations, because those people in New York, California, and Arizona, Florida, Vegas, there's some people that pay HOA fees over $1,000, over $1,500, over $2,000. Can you imagine paying $20,000 a year in HOAs? That's insane. 12,000 a year HOAs over 5 years. That's 60 more grand. So can you imagine just think out about this right now. What if you had to pay 180 grand? In 5 years, between now and 5 years from now, you're going to have to pay 180 grand. And you still haven't even paid for food, groceries, anything else. You haven't done anything. You haven't even paid for gas in your car, gas in your house, electricity in your house. Nothing. That's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I am afraid to scare you this bit, but some people will be paying $100,000 to $200,000 over the next 5 years. Some would be paying 100. Some will be paying 70. But that just gives you an idea how much money you will give to somebody else. So therefore, is there alternatives? Well, you're damn right. You better be having some money where you get money by dividends, by having to not work for it, having to be sleep. That means you might have to buy into a company that's giving you some dividends, some payout. That means you need something that's going to give you more than just your working. What happens if you lose your job? What happens if you get ill? Anything can happen. You need to plan for what happens if you get maxed out, where one of these days they come in and tell you, hey, your insurance for your house where you live is going to cost you $800 per month. The insurance or your property taxes, $1,000 per month. That's $1,800. I mean, this is what's happening right now. So either you're going to have to decide what is your future going to be, and it has to be making more money. There's only one little problem. The field of play is getting smaller. And I'm referring to, since we're in the United States, if I start a business, I'm competing with other people that have a business that's been started and successful. That's why the startups, 9 out of 10 fail. Even a business that's in business fails. From year to year, you never know. When we're talking about moms and pops, especially. So this is the type of thing why you have to invest in real estate. You have no choice. You have to invest in stocks. You have no choice. You also have to invest in some sort of business. So if you want to buy and do the trifecta where you say, okay, I'm going to buy real estate and I'm going to make that real estate property business, then you have the best of both worlds, because appreciation is free money. And at the same time, if you can extract some revenue from it, now that is passive income that you don't have to worry about. But the field is narrowing. Airbnb, cities, states, because the hotel industry, they're controlled by multimillionaires. And cities want to make sure they get some of the revenue. What does it look like when you have 1,000 Airbnb units in your city and the people who are making the money are the homeowner and you're getting nothing? But see, what I say is, it's funny how the government looks at it that way. But I'm still sitting there going, well, wait, I'm paying insurance. I'm paying for property taxes. I'm paying for the maintenance and upkeep. You're not helping me. You're not giving me any sort of tax incentive. You're not giving me free land. You're not making a bond so the taxpayers pay for my location. It's not like it's a free ride. And I'm paying taxes here for city, state taxes when I go buy something. So what's the problem? Well, they go, well, there's a problem because you're taking away from our hotel. They're in business and we charge them an occupancy fee. We have fees because they're in the commercial zone. So I'm like, okay, that's the rules. But again, now they have to tax me. Now they're going to say, I need a license to do Airbnb. Now they're going to make rules like in Las Vegas where they say, hey, after 10 p.m. is a cutoff time for noise. And you have to be on call 24/7 or have somebody on call 24/7. They got rules like that. So now they're making it so if you're going to act like a hotel, then we're going to try and make you be a hotel. That kind of thing. So that eliminates the competition for the hotels. And so you have to understand what you're dealing with. So if you're going to stay in the Airbnb game or short-term rental game, then you can ill afford to buy property anywhere. That's the point. You're going to have to buy property where there is high tourism. Number one, you can't just go get something in Timbuktu. You can't just go get something over here in any old residential neighborhood. That's not going to work for you. So just keep all of that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when you're doing some real estate investing, or you're going to go to multifamily property, the duplex, the triplex, the fourplex. Ask yourself which way you're going to go play, because this is going to be very, very serious over the next 3 years. Prices are not going to stop going up. It's a capitalist system. You have to keep this in mind. This is you have to understand, how much do you want it to go up is the question. That's the real deal, because once you reach a breaking point, which has already occurred, if housing goes up another 10% to 20% from where we are now, if you think 70% are living paycheck to paycheck, it's going to be 80 to 85, just like that. So if the housing prices go up 10% in the next year, 2025, because it could happen, there are going to drop 3 rate decreases. The Federal Reserve I'm referring to, you know that's coming. They already dropped to 1.5. You know there's going to be another one in January, more than likely, or at the end of December. Whether it's 0.25 or not, who cares? The point is it's going to be dropped. And then 2 to 3 months after that, another drop. So it's going to be a point before we can even get to 9 months. That's 1%. That's significant. That puts people near 3.9, 3.8 at that point. You can already buy down for 4.2 from Pulte in certain locations if you buy a new home. So there's loans out there for 5.1, 5.3 right now. It all depends. There you can finagle your way to a lower rate right now. So just keep this in mind. So you don't think that housing won't go up? I don't know what planet it won't, but there are people out here, the pundits, once again on TV saying it's going to be a crash. Low amount of homes for sale, interest rates going down equals a crash. I don't see how, and I'm not subscribing to that. What I am subscribing to is if you can buy property and you haven't right now, and you can get a duplex, a triplex, a fourplex, and the FHA is saying we're going to sign off on this, you better be getting it now. Now, because if it goes over the FHA qualifications, they have a number. They say you can only get a loan up to this amount. After this, FHA might have to increase their number after what's about to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. All right. Enough of my going off the rails, but nonetheless, ULTY 1040. Victor Morales dropped some gems once again. There they go once again for you. Write these down. Do your own homework. I again subscribe to the real estate boom. So that means I subscribe to real estate investment trust as part of your ETF portfolios. Victor Morero, I think he put ARR on one of these, didn't he? Yes, he did. This one right here, he said ARR. There it is. You want 13, 14%? There you go. All right. So you can get it now because their stock prices, in my estimation, should be rising after about another 2 months. So we'll see how it all plays out. And Max ETS will pay each week on Fridays, as that's the day majority of option contracts expire and settle. Exactly. Now, the question, though, Victor Marrero, I haven't looked. Max ETFs. What I want to know is, are they I thought it was just YMAX and YMAG that's going to pay weekly. I have not seen where they said that they're going to pay every one of their, well, they now have so many funds. It's ridiculous. Or ETFs. It's crazy. Are they going to do all ETFs or just the first 10 that they had? Is there a number on these ETFs? That's what I want to know. That is really, really what I want to know. Let me know. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually doing something in the background right now. You know what? Let me do it this way. While Victor Morell's going to give me this, or Brian P., Mr. Dividend, maybe he'll give it to me. But let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm going to do this, and then we'll be back. Let's do this one. Come on. All right, welcome back. Once again, make sure you smash that like button so the YouTube guys know that you're in the house. All right. Now, we have a lot more to talk about, what to invest in. I think Victor Morel dropped down a long laundry list of some things that you might want to study up on, especially when we start talking about dividends, because that's going to be the most powerful thing. If the stock market breaks its all-time record highs, which it will, that means anything you're investing in right now, ETF-wise, if you can ride that wave and you can get 9 or 10 or 15 or 20% over the next 2 years, then you should consider signing up. The dividends, you can, whatever you put in now, that gives you an idea on what you're going to be getting as a return. So again, let me know what you guys think about that. And let's see. Hold on. Here we go. All Uh-oh. Let's see. Eric, that's a great service and idea to have a bank representative there. I was able to open an account same day in DR, but that was using my brother-in-law's commercial account and connections. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have to have, if you just walked in off the street, you wouldn't have been able to do anything. That's what I'm referring to. You have to have this. What you're doing. He had his commercial account. My commercial account still isn't opened. 4 months. 4 months. When I was sitting there at which bank do I have? It's is it Ban Reservice? I think it's Ban Reservice. BH, I can't even remember all these different banks. But anyhow, I tried to open up the SSN Lifestyle account. I'm there. He goes, oh, it'll be ready for you the next day or 2 days. And so I call him up 2 days. I said, okay, man, I need to come in and do whatever. Not done. I leave. And I call a month later because now I remember. I'm like, hey, man, what about my bank account? Did it ever open? He goes, oh, we had a little problem, whatever. I'll do something. I'll send you over your account so you can send money to it. That's 2 months ago. I hit him up now like 30 days ago. And I said, hey, man, what's up? Oh, yeah, I'll send you. Still hasn't sent it to me. Crazy. Eric, just crazy, man. Just crazy stuff. Crazy. All right. I see what's going on now. I have something in the background. So now I see it's causing havoc when I did this. This is not good. This is really, really not good. Now I see that I have a problem. Okay. All right. Well, I can't take that off. So we'll see. Calvin, HB83, Steph Kelly 96. I see you on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. All right. Yield Max payout weekly. All right. Eric, check your email. Yes, I know about that. Here we go. Victor Morero, he's given us some information. Yield Max payout weekly. Yes, Yield Max ETFs are now in groups A, B, C, D. Each of their ETFs are grouped into one of these letters, and each letter pays each week. Only YMAG and YMAX pay every week on top of the groups. Okay. Hold on. Are now in groups A, B, C, D. Each of their ETFs are grouped into one of these letters and pays each week. Okay. So there's more than just YMAG and YMAX then. All right, I got to go study. We'll have to talk about this on Wednesday. I got to go look this up. This is pretty awesome. Investment Panther, another investor is here. Let me know how your project and villa's going down, man. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says ban reservists. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's them. So still haven't opened it. I'm going to hit the guy up now again. Now that I forgot about it. I'm just like, man, what's happening? But oh well. I guess they have my stuff ready. I just don't get it, but we'll see. All right. Well, let us know, Investment Panther. Very nice to see you, man. Victor Marrero, Eric just emailed you new weekly group distribution schedule. Right. Thank you, man. Go check this out. I got something else that I'm going to, this might have messed up things. Okay. We're going to a second. Here we go. How come I didn't get an email? What the heck? Oh, maybe I did. I forget. I can't check all 5 different emails all day. YOMAX ETF groups. Here we go. YMAG. All other YOMAX ETF distribution cycles will be staggered throughout each month. Really? Really? Okay. YMAX. Oh, yeah. I see now. YMAG is going to be the 20 declaration. Oh, they are moving the declaration dates. Wow. And then they got Group A. I see what they're doing, Victor Marrero. I like it. Group A. So then this way, that's Tesla. Oh, it's got, wait. Group A, Tesla. There's something they're shorting. Google. ORK, XOMO, SNOY, TSMY, NVDY, DIPS, VV. Okay, they're in AB. Okay, A is 10 to, and then what? 10:30, 11:27, 12:26. Wait, that's still every month though. That's still every month. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why Mag? Okay, so Why Max and Why Mag pays every week. Okay, I get what you were. Okay, I get it now. Okay. And then they group things up where they just still get once a month. But I all right, it's once a month. I don't for everybody else. Oh, but you know what? Wow. That is very, very interesting. That's very powerful, quite frankly. I like it. Very powerful. Thank you for the list. Very powerful. So actually, if you have that is powerful. You know why? Damn, this is right up Victor Morell's alley because a lot of people employ this. If you're getting dividends every week from YMAX and YMAG, you may not reinvest them into YMAX and YMAG exclusively. Maybe you have yours coming out in cash instead of automatic reinvestment. So now you're taking some of that money and actually buying a little, putting a not 100% back into YMAX and YMAG. Maybe you're taking out 50% and putting it into your other group, let's say A stocks. So you're sharing it. So you're buying more shares of stock. So now you actually are increasing somewhat of an advantage. I kind of like this. And YMAG and YMAX, if they're giving you almost $1 per share, 90 cents per share, 80 cents per share, $1.10 per share, and you have anything significant like 1,000 shares, which is possible, that'd be $10,000, $11,000 investment, and you got $980 like last month, you could say, let's say 450 reinvest into YMAX and YMAG, and then the other 450 into the others, group A's. So then next month, you actually have more shares that is going to be compounded for your other section of your portfolio. I like it. I like it. So now this means, well, there should be a run on YMAX and YMAG buying right now. The price points right now, it's pretty still good price, $10.40. I like it. So that gives you an option, ladies and gentlemen. And these are YOMAX ETFs. Now, I got to say, they're high risk, high rewards is the way I look at it, because anything that gives you 20, 25%, like an IEP, which is not in YOMAX ETFs, that is a icon group, and they're giving over 20% return. IEP, right? IVR, another high risk, high reward stock. But if they stay in business and can get you the dividends at these 18%, 19, 20, 23%, that's insane. All right, YOMAX ETFs, they can give you more, unbelievably. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% distributions. It's crazy. This right here is crazy. This is crazy. Wow. Now you can arrange weekly payments based on the YOMAX ETF you invest. You can definitely budget match much better by establishing a weekly income goal. I love it the way it is now. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is a whole nother, this changes the whole investment game for ordinary citizens. You can arbitrage money that you didn't have to put in because you're getting checks every week. And if you have enough money from those checks, which you should, then that means your distribution goes into some other portfolio, maybe even a lower risk portfolio. But nonetheless, you didn't have to work for it, nor did you have to put in any extra money. This is almost like, I hate to say it, but it's like gambling. When I told you guys, I don't know what this one is. It might be called a Martindale, or this thing about when like I say, if I have a $5 chip, or I shouldn't even use a denomination. I just use one chip. It could be $100 chip, $25 chip. It doesn't matter. But the point that it is, if I'm playing blackjack and I bet, or any game that's close to any game, I use one chip in the casino. And if I win a chip, right? I'll put it this way. If I play at a casino and I lose the first chip, what do? I grab another chip and I actually put it down, right? Okay. So if I take a chip and I win, then why aren't you actually putting the winning chip down? And why aren't you taking another chip just like you lost and put it down? You have one free chip. And now this is your second time. Are you going to win 2 in a row? Who knows? But that 15, 2 chips plus that free chip. Now, if you win, you're going to have 15 more, right? So you'll have 30 total. You risk 10, right? So now why wouldn't you take off every chip? You got 5 chips. You have 6 total, but you got 5. Why wouldn't you take all 5 chips and put them in your win stack? You're back to where you started, right? So you're going to lose some stuff, but every time you lose, you just use one chip, right? But if you win 2 in a row, so that's one way to play. That's how you have to start thinking like this. So when you have Yield Max and Yield Mag giving you a dividend next week, and your dividends come out, and you have other stocks that's going to have a dividend next month, what's going to end up happening is you're now buying additional stocks across the board. And now you're going to get next week in YMAG and YMAX, you know you're going to get another dividend. But the other one, let's say A, the other one is going to be A, that now in 3 weeks is going to now have more shares in there. And when they count those shares to give out their dividends for the following month, you're going to have more money coming in, all from your investment, not from you having to take money out of your bank account and throwing it in there. So this is very, very powerful. I love this. They just changed the game for ordinary citizens. I got to go meet these guys, because this right here, if they're able to stay in business and the stock price is able to stay around the same price, and they're able to give out this distribution, which it could happen because they deal with option trading, some option incomes, some bonds and things like this. There's going to be a whirlwind of buying on the stock market and people using options and all that. So there should be a lot of cash in theory. But if everything goes according to plan, stock market is going to be active, then this is going to be a game changer. If you can get 40%, 50% payout already, then you can put that 40 or half of that 40 or 50% into another product that gives you 50 to 60%. You guys have no idea. Start doing some numbers and you'll see in a year and a half, it's going to be crazy. I can tell you that right now without even looking. I'm a math guy. In 18 months, if you had any significant money, like if you could put $15,000 to $20,000 into this, next year, this time, you're going to be doing serious damage, almost created an annuity for yourself in the thousands of dollars per month, and increasing also, because you're still going to actually have those shares, those ETFs still generating income for you. And all you have to do is siphon a little bit and then let them buy some more. And it's just going to keep growing. And the curve goes like this. 18 months is going to be off the charts. I'm going to have to make a video about this because this is awesome. This is a game changer right here. Because normally you have to do this manually. Like Victor Morero was doing this manually. He was talking about this for the last 2-3 months. He was saying, I take this from, he has different buckets. He was saying, I take this from the options because he does options trading. He has his wheel thing. So he takes some of the profits and put it here. He was giving you a layout so you can take some, and because you're doing high risk to lower risk, because once you keep generating money at a certain point, you're happy to keep going. But the fact of the matter is you can't keep things in high risk. You have to put it in a lower risk category, right? So he's actually moving some of those winnings, high risk stuff into lower risk and that's churning. So now if you can get 10 years, 5 years, you're going to be doing one hell of a thing, because that's where you want. And keep in mind, once you have a portfolio of stocks, you're just like the big boys. You're a millionaire, you're a multimillionaire, you're a billionaire. They can go to the bank and say, hey, I have X amount of stocks. Can you give me a loan? So that means you can always bail yourself into winning. You can always go get money if you want to start something. But again, I would not advise anybody to do any high risk maneuvers with their money any longer. You would have to be very wealthy to do that. Right now, the middle class, upper middle class is going to be wiped out in the next 3 years. You can't just, like what we did in the previous 5 years, we can't do. We can't make investments in InstaVid AI. I can't do that right now. Those days are gone. All right. We can't do investments into the crypto thing like the debt box and all this stuff, taking high risk maneuvers. Those days are gone. No more high risk, because right now you're going to need every last dollar. The government is out of money. They're going to have to be grabbing from you. Just keep all of that in mind, okay? They have to grab it from you. They're not going to be grabbing it from, they're not going to be printing money to do it. That's going to create more inflation. So back to where I started with, look at this right here, ladies and gentlemen. If you, again, you think, courtesy of Brian P. sending this to me today. Look at this right here. Can you believe this? Oh, wait a minute. What's going on? This automatically comes up. Not today. Didn't automatically come up. Why didn't it come up? What's happening? Okay. All right. That's cute. All right, here we go. September 23rd. Wells Fargo abruptly closes 12-year-old black CEO's bank account, freezes her assets. Wow. Oh my. In a very sudden and unexpected move, Wells Fargo Bank is closed and zeroed out the business account of beautiful Curly Mia, black-owned company run by 12-year-old Zoe Orley and her mom, Ivana. Zoe started the company when she was 7 years old, and her brand, which has been featured on Good Morning America, that is okay. And daughter Dewar were told that nothing could be done with their funds, but that they would receive a cashier's check in the mail within 7 to 15 days. Are you serious right now? Okay. We're going to give you a cashier's check. That to a bank. Right now in this environment, they're going to think it's fraudulent. First of all. Second of all, even if they do accept it, they're going to put it on hold for who knows how long. Another bank. Crazy. Wow. This is really disheartening and unacceptable. Yeah, welcome to the real world. Beautiful Curly company. How can we help? All right, so mom asking supporters to shop directly from their website to help. Oh, their account potentially. I don't know. if it's direct, but can you imagine? This is crazy. That's all I can say. This is no shocker to me. None. No shocker to me. This is exactly where I come into the pictures. People, no shot. King J 7118, I see you. Sadriel 1516, thank you so much for being in the house. I see you guys. Wow, that is incredible. That is incredible. Wow, wow, wow. All right, exactly, Eric. You get your dividends quicker, weekly, and reacting quicker to buying opportunities of other ETFs without having to wait until the end of the month. Exactly. To me, I see that, man. Max ETF. I got to go shake these dudes' hands because you know what? This helps ordinary citizens. They have stocks that are only $10 per share, $12, $15, $20 per share that are giving you 25, 30, 35, 45% returns or distributions. I shouldn't say returns. I should say distributions on your money for what you're buying. 45%. So if somebody says it's a $20 stock and they're going to give you, what was that be, like $5, $7.50 a year per share, a lot of people would be happy with a $20 stock price. I mean, I am. You should be too, right? So then the question is, how many shares can you get? Because 1,000 shares mean you're getting $750 per month, ultimately, right? So you have to start thinking about these things. It starts adding up. And if I can take money out of another place that's giving me a dividend every week, and I can share some of that free money with other accounts to bolster that up and buy more shares without having to throw more money in myself, that's powerful. Very powerful. Wow. I like it. I really, really like it. Hey, Eric, I want to get 500 shares of YMAG and YMAX. Exactly. Well, you already have ULTY, and you should be utilizing ULTY, and that will, in 1 month, I think. Well, no, not 1 month. Well, hold on. 5,000. Yeah, you could use some of the money from your ULTY to actually buy it. It's going to take you 3 or 4 months, but so what? I mean, or you can take all of the money of the dividends from ULTY, and in 2 months you'll have the 500. Well, of one, not both. But nonetheless, I understand where you're going. I can't blame you. That'd be 1,000, and that would give you the money you could actually disperse to other accounts. I love it. I love it. Start with a weekly dividend income goal of 100, then go to 500, then go to 1K. Before you know it, this becomes a pension that pays your bills or debt. This is how you get to financial freedom. Exactly, Victor Barrero. Exactly. And that's how you get to be Mr. Worldwide, because he's going around. Anybody going to be in Spain in September? Let us know, because our own Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool and Mrs. Cool will be there, because we might have an impromptu international meetup. That would be fun. I wish I could go, but I can't. All right. That's right, Victor. Exactly. Exactly. This is why we make money up in here, ladies and gentlemen, because this is what you have to do. All right. Now, what to invest in? Well, we gave you some more tonight. We gave you something to think about, and why Max actually added to the game. I mean, this is incredible. There's other people trying to copy this. So when we have FEPI in there, that's one of them. Go check them out. Roundhill, Defiance, that's some others, but Yilmax has been kicking ass. They even have shorts now, which is incredible. You can short stock. They have shorting ETFs, which is weird to me. But again, it goes by people are doing puts on their options for their trading on the stock market. So that's very, very powerful. So this is pretty cool. I love it. I really, really love it. And there's something I need to do real quick. So you know what that means. That means it's time for another branded SSN lifestyle video. Let's see. Let's do this one. I don't know which one this is, though. Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. SSN Lifestyle. Okay. Well, the StopStrugglingNow.com website, not fully operational. Well, kind of is getting started. So, StopStrugglingNow.com merch. A few of the items are back on that website where you can go get some blogs, all that's going to be there. So once again, we're starting to get that back up and rolling from some of that hackers. It's whatever. But nonetheless, we're making a comeback. So some gear, but the gear page actually shows other things that aren't really for sale, but it just was a part of the product for the WordPress. But you know SSN Lifestyle Gear. You see it. You see the logos. You know what they look like. All right. Vanessa, Gate, Seamless Genius is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name. I humbly appreciate it. And she says her tagline, hey, boss and SSN fam, happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to the fam. Thank you so much for being here once again. I know you're busy. What's going on, fam? Well, what's going on? In case you just missed it, we just went over some things that is off the charts. Here it is right here. We were just talking about Max ETFs. Let me see if I can find it. Here's some of it here. YMAG and YMAX give dividends every week now. And then depending on your group, the group is monthly. So the point is, since YMAG and YMAX gives out dividends, that free dividend money that you get, you can actually share it with your other stocks. So when the next month comes up, you've added some more stock. So now you'll be able to get more dividend money from the other stock that's sitting there or stocks in your portfolio that you have with Max ETFs. It's like printing money. Crazy. Max ETFs, YMAG, and YMAX pay every week now. This is the latest thing. So there you have it. Investment Panther, you still here, man? Let me know what's happening. Let me know what's going down with the investment. All right. Yes, all Max ETFs are now in groups. Oh, I didn't get that. Okay, let's go. Yes, it's rough out here in these streets. Hey, Vanessa, come again. I know. That's what we've been talking about over the last few weeks. I was telling people I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 streams of income. Poof, gone, shut down. It's getting real out here in the field. And also my Airbnb is taking a hit as well. We're not even at 40% or 30% or 20% occupancy. It's very, very bad. And these are all in tourist locations. It's incredible. And for Airbnb, I'm also having the situation where people are basically waiting till last minute. I have people right now who hit me up. I've had 4 or 5 people asking me about the Eagles at the Sphere in Las Vegas. It's October 11th, 12th, that whole weekend, special edition. Okay, you had to book that up like 4 months ago. And I've had like 5 to 10 people asking me about it now. There ain't nothing available. It's crazy. It's crazy. Plus, there's some other event going on. It's out of control. And just like the auto show, Zima, that's what I was trying to think the other day. Zima Auto Show, once again, it's next month, a month and a half from now. It's going to be Zima, the first week of November. I'm just like, what's happening? You guys, it's terrible. All right. Yes. Yes. Weekly dividends. Yes. What? Max ETFs, YMAG and YMAX. Those are the two that give out weekly dividends now. Is that crazy or what? We don't know. It's the first time it's happening this Friday. I think last Friday they gave out 98 cents, one of them. So this is the first week where they're doing the weekly. So I'm anticipating they're going to split it into a fourth. That's what I'm anticipating. So I'm thinking 25 cents maybe per share. 23 to 27, maybe somewhere 23 cents to 27 cents is what I'm guessing, because that would equal their dollar, or 98 cents or 95 or 78 cents, whatever the case may be. So there has to be some sort of range. We'll see, but that's what I'm guessing for the first week. Something like 20 cents to 20, I'd say 25 cents on average. So we'll see what happens. Yes, the economy is tough. I'm seeing it. Exactly. So the Federal Reserve did what they were supposed to do by increasing the interest rates, letting them sit for a year. They stalled the economy. Now they're going to start doing reduction of the interest rate. And they're probably going to do it 3 months from now as well, another 0.25 or another 0.5. They're rapidly going to get it down. So that'll jumpstart people refinancing their homes and getting their credit card numbers reduced and things like this. People and the wages will start getting a little higher. So everybody will be happy. But the pain is lagged. So it's going to take 4 or 5 months. And then after that, it's a party. It's a party out here. But yes, it's getting much tougher because we already knew the numbers. 70% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. So during the course of a month, it's 4 weeks. So sometime during those 3 to 4 weeks, another 8% are living paycheck to paycheck. So we're at 78% living paycheck to paycheck. But everybody knew this already because we knew 3 years ago when we said the number was 70% of people in America do not even have 1,000 in their bank account. So soon as you made your rent, soon as they made 1-bedroom rentals, $1,200, $1,500, $1,800 per month. If you already didn't have 1,000, then we already know you're after they do that, that 1,000 is gone. So we knew the middle class was going to be wiped out, as I've been saying. Now the upper middle class is next. So unfortunately, Vanessa, we have to make more money. You're going to have to be clocking in 200 G's in 3 years. Otherwise, you're going to be, I don't know where you're going to live. Because if you already didn't make any plans to actually have a house, or some family member has a house just sitting empty, then you're going to have a hard time trying to either live in a place that's going to be an apartment that's going to be $2,000 a month, or you're going to have to figure out something. So now you have 3 years to get your life in order, and you're not going to have any extra space if you're an ordinary citizen. Unless you're going to be making 15 to 20 G's a month, then you're not an ordinary citizen. So that's what you're going to have to make in 3 years to survive. Otherwise, you're going to need assets in place. I'm just saying. So it's happening. It's been happening. Starting to notice better rates on platforms other than Airbnb. Exactly. That's the problem. Plus, these other platforms offer stays at hotels centrally located. Exactly, Victor Morel. You're saying what I was trying to tell people about condo hotels. There's nothing wrong with the condo hotel when it's actually in smack dab in the middle of the tourist zone. Like I always use Vegas because of the REA City Center, Vidara, Cosmopolitan, Mandarin. Those are condo hotels. So that's right, smack dab in it. All right. MGM has theirs. All right. Condo hotels, smack dab on their MGM property in Vegas. So that makes sense. The hotel gets 80% occupancy, 83%, as such as the MGM, then it's 83% for those condo hotels. Makes sense. But when you start doing this condo hotel thing that's out in just the ordinary residential or neighborhood, and you say, oh, this is a condo hotel now, it's not a condo hotel to me. Because the front desk, the real front desk with the real place that has restaurants and pool and all that, and little mini mart and shopping and all that at the hotel, you don't have that at the condo hotel. You can call it a condo hotel all you want, but the occupancy rate's not going to be the same as the occupancy rate at the actual hotel. It's going to be a lot higher. So this is what he's talking about here. Plus, these other platforms offer stays at hotels centrally located. See, that's what matters. They are designed to be hotels. You're not going to beat a hotel for occupancy rates. You're not. I don't care who you are. There's some people doing Airbnb and they claim, well, I do. You can't do 100% all the time. You're just lying. That's not possible. The only way that could even be possible where you would actually have to be at a hotel. And there is no hotel that does 100% occupancy, except for the specialty items where it has like 10 buildings. I'm referring to places that are actually hotels. I'm not referring to these boutique things that have 10 or 15 units. All right. But that's the whole thing right there. So I just looked them up. So they're about $20 a share. That's it. $20 a share for 12, $13, $14 in dividends annually. What a hell of a return, right? That's the key right there. If they give you $12 and it costs 20, so so in order for people to understand how much yield you're going to receive or percentage on your money, you would take the $12 that you're going to receive, the profit, the money, the revenue, you divide that by 20. And there you go. All right. Whatever that magic number is. So that number is 60% if it's $12. Just saying. All right. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's 60, isn't it? Hold on. You know what? Let me go do it myself. Let me go see what this number is. 12 divided by 20. 60%. Yes, we're on the money. All right. Okay, here we go. Hey, Victor, the retiree, how's life treating you, brother? Exactly. He's about to go on his worldwide tour at the end of the month. Absolutely, boss. Assets is key. We're looking at the health-based biz now. People are stressed out. Exactly. If you can figure out something with health, that's the final frontier. Because there's going to be more people sick, ill, under stress, under duress, money, the whole gamut. 70% of the population is already under stress in America. So it's only going to get worse. So this is why the pharmaceutical business is doing this. Doctors are doing this. They're like, we got more people coming in for drugs. I mean, it's out of control. James Way, another extraordinary person's in the house, extra extraordinary. James Way, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline, hello all, got the notification, late from work, because that rent is too damn high. Exactly. And it's going to get a lot worse, even though there's some people saying the rent has come down. I love it. The rent has come down. That's for sure. It has come down. It has come down. Advice. Okay. I'm doing something that I normally don't even do, but what the hell? I'm about to drop a number 2 video right now tonight. So it's going to be while we're doing the live stream. I'm just going to drop it. What the hell? I don't even care really, because it's about the billionaires again. Billionaire wants to pull money out of the market. Any advice, ladies and gentlemen? I got the only advice that I'm going to tell him. He says, I'm just going to tell you, because this is a preview actually of the video. It's part 2. And in one section of the video I posted where this John Paulson says, well, if Kamala's elected and if Kamala's elected, I'm pulling money out of the market. So I started companies or corporations buying homes. I'm like, I want to see it. Go for it. And so the same thing here. I want to see it. I want to see John Paulson. I want to see you take your money out. I want to see it. So I'm looking for you on November 7th, 8th, 9th, because if she wins, I want to see you drop taking all your money out the market. You're talking all this garbage right now. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, there is no time in history. There's people trying to make this thing out that says the Federal Reserve reduces interest rates and the stock market goes down. Well, everything's not the same. There's reasons why things happen. Federal Reserve reduces interest rates. There's a low supply of housing. Housing prices have already went up damn near 50 to 60% above what most people's loans are. So what's going to happen? People are going to refi. And from that refi of 100,000, 200, 300,000, what do people normally do? They're going to use that money to go buy, whether it's another part of a real estate or cars or motorcycles or boats or clothes or jewelry. People are going to buy. That's going to put billions of dollars in the hands of consumers. And what do consumers do when they get a freaking $1,200 or $1,500 stimulus check? They spend it. So what are they going to do when they get $100,000, $200,000? They spend it. So I find it very interesting how stocks are going to crash, homes are going to crash. I don't see how this is going to work, but that's why I want to see it. 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 So then what I loved about the lady who, this was Fox Business, by the way. The thing that there's a lady that's very smart. I don't know her name. I got to give her credit. The only thing that I don't really like is she's very smart, but she's using it to alter the perception of what's happening. That's what I don't like. But I find it fascinating that she's asking questions that she knows the answers to, and she knows the billionaire is not going to answer the question the way for ordinary citizens. She knows that he's answering based on he's a billionaire. So he's going to go with the answer that makes it work for him. And so I'm just laughing. I'm like, of course he's going to say that because he wants that tax cut and tax break. He don't want to pay taxes like the rest of us. Of course he doesn't. So I find it hilarious when this guy's on national TV saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to take my money out the market and you should too. Well, he doesn't say you should too, but he's implying. So since he's implying it, I just laughed. I was like, dude, it ain't working. This is SSN Nation. It ain't working. You can't break out anything from history that shows that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a video coming out in this week that I'm going to actually talk about should the market go down, and we're going to use some actual history. We're going to go by the history for every time it's happened in life in our Federal Reserve reduced the interest rate, under what circumstance, what happened. We're going to go do it. All right. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But nonetheless, I'm in the background right now, and I'm doing some things as we talk. So you have to forgive me a little bit if I haven't seen the chat room. But here we go. Let's see. Here we go. James Way. Once again, the rent is too damn high. All right. How's the DR projects going? Well, they're going. I can't say anything great. They're all delayed. I mean, 3 years, 4 years. Some started kind of delivery, but so far, well, the other thing is you're going to be hard pressed trying to get into the market at a reasonable price. We're talking 1-bedroom units, if they're new projects, are costing like over 200 G's, except for Seven Palms. Seven Palms in Vistacana is the only one that has a 1-bedroom for a 1-bedroom for $99,000 at Elite. Seven Palms Elite inside Vistacana. That's the deal of the century. The other Elite that's across the street from the beach, that's a $135,000 for the second floor, $145,000 for the third floor for the 1-bedroom. So those are the only ones. And those do not include furniture, which that's no big deal, but does not include appliances. So no AC, no fridge, no range, no oven, no exhaust fan, You have to buy all of that. So your 135 is really going to be at another 12 to 15,000 plus your furniture. So 20 grand is what you're going to have to add. Right? So your 135 is really 155. Your 145 is really like 165. Now, the other problem is the other projects that came out, Poseidonia, Oasis Lake. Oasis Lake, a studio unit is 195, 205 now. The loft unit is 255 now. This is what we're dealing with out here now. Any place that has amenities is costing. 2 bedrooms are now 230, 250,000. That's at Poseidonia. That's at Atlanta. No, Atlanta is 300,000 for a 2-bedroom actually. So this is where we're going. The prices are now prohibitive in a lot of the areas. I am not recommending anybody buy a 2-bedroom condo for 250 plus thousand. And I damn sure ain't telling somebody to buy a 2-bedroom for 350,000. A condo, that's crazy. So if you plan on living there, that's one thing. You can buy whatever you want when you live somewhere. But if you plan on trying to do short-term rentals, getting 300 and something per night just to break at a 10% clip, you might as well just put your money in the stock market and get yourself a JEPI or a JEPQ stock, or go get an ETF, or go get an a real estate investment trust, which I haven't even announced like I normally do. Victor Marrero already started the party with the ARR. But what we're talking about is, of course, the AGNC, the ORC, the PSEC. Yes, you can hit rewind, ladies and gentlemen. P as in Paul, S as in Sam, E as in Eric, C as in Charles. O as in Oscar, R as in Robert, C as in Charles. All right? Just for starters. A as in Apple, G as in George, N as in Nancy, C as in Charles. So anyhow, the projects are going, but they are delayed. Larimar still haven't broken ground, and it's September, soon to be October. All right. Cruise on Land, I don't know what they're doing. They used to actually show videos on their Instagram. They broke ground. They were showing they were laying down some weird cement that wasn't making sense. And then no videos. I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? Basically, all of them are delayed. All right. So nothing's coming online. But there's nothing hardly cheap anymore. That's going to be in a good location. The best deals are going to be inside Vistacana, if there's even anything new that's coming, which I haven't heard anything new that's coming. And the new stuff that's also relatively inexpensive, they are being condo hotels. That's the other weird thing. So Poseidonia that I mentioned, you're buying a 1-bedroom unit for $230,000. And it's a condo hotel, which means you can't live there. And that you're going to get 50% of the rental value, best case scenario, because they're going to have a rental pool. So all the units that are empty, which is going to be 70% of the 30 to 40% of the units are going to be empty. That means some of the profit money that the units that are rented are going to go to those people who have no rentals. So I'm just saying, this could be, you're going to be in single digits as far as I can see, unless they can't charge people $500 a night. That's stupid. When you can stay at the Hard Rock for less right now, because we just looked it up. It was $385, $400 even in prime time, January 27th through February 3rd. I think I looked up $385. So why would I spend more than $385 when I got all I can eat, all I can drink, restaurants, water parks, beach, within, well, depends on where you're at in the complex, but 100 yards away, let's say 200 yards away, worst case scenario. So again, that's rough. Evanessa Comagate, thanks for asking. It's freedom. Taking off to the Caribbean in a couple of weeks, then heading out to Europe until the end of March. Wow. Also plan to hit UK. Glad to hear that. Oh yeah, you better get to UK earlier than later because it's better right now. Turkey and Greece. So sounds like one hell of a ride right there. I like this Greece, Turkey, UK. Turkey, I'm a little. That's cool. But he's going to be in the EU zone, so he'll be good. It'll be awesome. I love it, Victor. Living La Vida Loca. Exactly. Exactly. Mr. Worldwide. He's going to have that attachment to his name here shortly. Vanessa Comagate, my wife wants to see the Harry Potter studios in London and Turkey. She keeps reminding me, so we'll make that happen. We'll drive from France to the UK through the underwater tunnel. There you go. Short distance. That means you're going to be in Paris. You're going to go through Paris, going to hang out there. All right. Yeah, you have to do that, Victor Morel. Hey, these are once in a lifetime, man. You're still alive. You guys made it through all this that you guys have gone through over all these years. And if the wife says you got to go over here, go over there, you got to do it. There's no questions asked. No questions asked. And you have the time. So no excuses either. So you're going to have to go anywhere she wants to go. My daughter and her guy are going to Colombia this Friday. Ooh, I told her to look out at property. Yeah, and watch her back. Sheesh. I'm scared going to Colombia. I haven't been to Colombia. I'm just scared to go down there. So watch your back. Make sure you got your friends or coordinations already set. Oh, wow, that's going to be cool to see that studio in London. Yep, exactly. That'll be real cool. When you work hard and do the right things strategically, it pays off. Exactly. That's what we have to do. The math ain't going to math if you buy too high. It's not worth it. Exactly. The math don't lie. And actually, what's also happening in the DR is the occupancy rates for Airbnbs aren't that high across all locations. So I did a video like 3 weeks ago, and I was showing people what the Airbnb DNA and Airbnb ticks, the statistics show in La Altagracia, which is in Punta Cana region. And it definitely showed if you're in Los Corrales, 71% occupancy rate on studios and 1 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, it drops. Yes, drops to like 60%. Everywhere else was like 41%, 40%. And then it depended on unit size. If you went up to a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom home, it was like 30%. Okay, so when you start getting the real numbers, now all of a sudden you realize, okay, you just can't buy stuff willy-nilly anywhere. It matters. So are you going to buy for the future, which everybody has? Delivery is not going to be till 2025, 2026 for a lot of people. That's a better delivery date than it is now if you're not in Los Corrales. So that just gives you an idea. It's not going to be worth it. There's no way you can buy a 1-bedroom for 200 and some thousand. 200 maybe. 250 and up, no way. I just can't see people paying 250 or 275. Something would drastically have to change. But the problem is, we just went over it on Friday. I went to Priceline, so that probably wasn't fair, but I was on Priceline looking up high season, which is January, February, March, same thing for all-inclusive resorts. They had all-inclusives that you could stay at. Now, granted, there's levels, but you could stay at an all-inclusive for like $300 a night, $250 a night, $166 per night. Exactly. So yeah, it's probably not one of the top spots, but all I'm trying to say is, how is a person who has a 1 or 2 bedroom going to compete and try to charge somebody $250 a night when you can stay in 10 different all-inclusives for under $200 per night? That puts you at a disadvantage. There's no way, because I'm going to tell you, for an extra 20, 30, 50 bucks, and I can stay at an all-inclusive on the beach, I'm not staying at the condo in the middle of town or wherever it is. That's all I'm saying. Is it ends up being a problem. And when you have 18,000 hotel rooms in Punta Cana, you can't just charge anything you want when you have competition. All right, Vanessa Cumagate, the country of Colombia or Columbia, South Carolina. I'm assuming it's the country. Yes, property there, especially around Northside, Cartagena. You have beautiful beaches. Yes, but you also have, it's Colombia. You have to be safe. The country of Colombia, yes, Cartagena. Thanks, boss, but I heard it was pretty safe for tourists now, and they travel quite a bit. That's good. Glad to hear it. Well, you know what it's always about. It's always about rumors. You know, if somebody doesn't want you to go to a country, what do they say? It's not safe there. That's how it always works. Just like when they didn't want people to go to the DR, right? Like 2 years ago. They say level 2, America, level 2, dangerous. But then when you're hanging out there, it's like never see anything. Ever. It's weird. All right. But yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I haven't been to Colombia myself, so I don't even know if I'll ever go there, quite frankly. But hopefully they have a good time. And yes, they do have property there. And there are people on YouTube that show some of the property down there. It looks similar to any other tropical zone type, place. So I don't know what they'd be doing, but that is a high tourist location for South America. It doesn't beat Punta Cana. I mean, it doesn't beat Dominican Republic, though, with occupancy rate or tourist numbers. So just saying. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to wrap this up this evening. And I did drop a video. Didn't I drop it? Nope, didn't drop it. I'm going to drop this late night. It'll be part 2. It doesn't really matter. It's just my face for right now. I can change the thumbnail later. All right. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we can do so now, because stock market records, get yourself into dividends. We have real estate. Does anybody think real estate's going to go down? Let me know. I want to hear this. I'm not saying it can't go down, but does anybody think it will? Because I'm going to be looking up some guys on YouTube tonight. And I'm going to be looking, because I did see some people popped up in real estate that was saying the markets are going to go down, and they were saying real estate's going to go down. And so it's fascinating. I want to see what their correlation is with the interest rates reduction and these things going down. I want to find out why they say this, because I may be wrong. I have to look at other people's data. Maybe they have some data that I don't have, which that's how you make investment decisions, right? That's how you make business decisions. You have to make sure you check everybody's info. Does it make sense? Is this what's happening? And that's what you do as a business, as an investor, as the CEO of your life. That's what you do. Okay, hold on. Let me see. What is this I missed? Yes, very safe in Colombia. Not even close to what it used to be in the 80s. My wife's family visit Colombia a few times a year from DR, believe it or not. The food and hotels are cheap. Yes, I do know that. That's what people say. One of my daughter's friend, who she went to college with, is top dog soccer player there now. Pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, you get love. Yeah, you get love with the soccer fans. That's number one. Those are superstars, whether it's female or male. Superstars. If you're a superstar in soccer, that's big time. That's like with a football or basketball player here. That's superstardom. I love it. I love it. I think the rental market price will potentially go down next year once the housing market digests the lowering of interest rates this year. Victor Marrero, I agree with that. In fact, that's what I anticipate happening, because I did say it also on Friday night. I was saying that exact kind of thing, because I was saying if and I use this example, the same one I used. I said if a house costs $500,000 and the interest rate goes down to 4%, because that could be like in the next 3 to 4 months, 4% means my mortgage payment is $2,000 per month. So now why am I going to live in a luxury apartment that's a 1-bedroom or even a 2-bedroom that I'm spending $2,000 plus per month when I can actually own a home? You're going to go buy the home. 3-4 bedrooms, an extra 1,000 square feet or 1,500 square feet. Yeah, expense wise, it might cost a little more, but at the same time, if you're still going to be paying $2,500 a month, you might as well just go get a house, right? So that's why I think it's going to cause a vacuum sucking away from the landlords. Remember, you have to qualify 3 times the rent anyhow. You have to do a 30% debt to income ratio, which is what you need to buy a house. You don't even need that, actually. You can get away with 35%, but I wouldn't recommend that. All right. Again, the recommendation, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to go buy a house, make sure you're 30% debt to income ratio or below. Don't F around. You can get 35, you can get 40, but just keep in mind your property taxes, insurance, these are unknown numbers that's going to increase over the years. So therefore, while your mortgage might be the same, you're going to have to pay more just for insurance. And if you don't have insurance on your house, you don't want the mortgage company putting insurance on your house. So that puts you in a rough situation. If you get a call like Victor Moreau got, and they say, hey, we're increasing your insurance $300 per month, that's a lot of money. All right. So I'm just saying, you just never know what's going to happen out here. So those are variables you don't know about. You don't know what the property tax is going to be year over year, and you don't know what your insurance is going to be. And you damn sure don't know what your HOA is going to try and do year over year. So do not try to go over 30% debt to income ratio when you buy a home. All right. Just saying. But yeah, I agree with that 100%. 110%. In fact, that's what I believe is going to happen, because you can already buy down with Pulte into the 4s. So that just means they're just ahead of the curve. So in 6 months, probably going to be at 4.9 or 4.8 or 4.7 or 4.5, or maybe even you can buy down with Pulte at under 4. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, as soon as you get into that equilibrium where you can say, I can just go buy a house, because remember, the median house price is around 442K. So that means there are homes right now that are 300K for sale, 350 for sale, which now means a 4% interest rate would make you 1,200. I mean, come on, 1,600. People are paying way more than that for a studio and 1-bedroom apartments now. So why would you keep doing that? That doesn't even make any sense. So that's why I think the rental market's going to soften, because it makes 0 sense, and they screwed themselves. And I'm all here for it, because those guys were price gouging as well. And so I'm loving every bit of it. So when they get down to 60, 50% occupancy and they can't pay their mortgage loan, don't be coming looking at me for any bailout. You guys shouldn't have been jacking people. All right, that's just my 2 cents on it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, no sympathy from me, but I agree with that 110%. That I think it's going to happen. We'll find out. We'll find out. But I think there's going to be a sucking sound coming out of the rental market. I really do. And home prices aren't going to flip high enough for people not to make the move, because they're going to be able to get a mortgage next week. I mean, it's not like they have to wait 3 months, 5 months. They'll be with the quickness about it. They'll be like, wait a minute, my monthly rent's coming up. I'm paying $2,500 a month. I can buy a house over here and it's going to cost me $1,600 a month. Let's get rid of this $2,500 a month like yesterday. I mean, seriously. All right. We're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but please join us on Wednesday night at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Victor Marrero is here on the screen. He has that icon next to his name. That means he will be able to get into the chat room on Wednesday night. Same with Vanessa Comagate, the Seamless Genius. She will be able to get there on Wednesday night in the chat room. If you're not a member of the channel, I'm not referring to subscriber, I'm talking about members of the channel, then you cannot be in the chat room on Wednesday night. Everybody can watch. Everybody can smash the like button. Everybody can share the video and tell their friends. But you can only watch on Wednesday nights at 8:50 p.m. Please come back and join us. And don't forget, I just dropped a video. Check it out. It's The Billionaire. I entitled it, which probably shouldn't entitle it this. Billionaire wants to pull money out of the markets. Advice? There we go. That's what I did. But it's based on the part 1 episode. This is part 2. It's based on Fox News when John Paulson, Vanessa Comegate, One West Bank, Steve Mnuchin, John Paulson, Michael Dell, George Soros, kicking elderly people out of their homes in Southern California in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. And these guys are the Treasury Secretary, Mnuchin. And now it could possibly be John Paulson. These despicable human beings could be in control of a government agency. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. But anyhow, yes, John Paulson, Fox Business, had this little interview. So that's what it's all about. Listening to a billionaire be scared. Kind of crazy when you think about it. All right. So anybody have anything else they want to discuss this evening? It's an open forum. Go ahead and discuss. M. Cole, I see you on Instagram. Thank you so much for being there. Hey, everybody, go to Instagram right now. Again, you have to understand. Once again, people think I use hyperbole when I say we are restricted. We have had a fluctuation of 1,915 people on an Instagram channel. All right. For the last 3 years, it fluctuates between 910 to 915. Then it goes to 917, 919. Then it drops back down to 915, 914. I think we have 914 again today. So we've never gone any higher. It's always stayed there. So make sure you join our Instagram. I only post little memes and things like that, and maybe videos every now and then as well. And all our platforms down below in the description box. Please sign up. Just sign up with the email at the very bottom of the description box here on YouTube and a podcast page. But other than that, here, I'll do it another way. Here, I'll just do it this way. And don't forget to check out SSN Lifestyle, Punta Cana Investors Forum. Here we go. Let's see if this all comes up at 1. Thank you, James Way. I appreciate it. There we go. Sign up with just, some of those things. I'm going to try and see what happens if Instagram gets an extra 20, 30 people, 40. Well, we haven't got to 1,000 yet. We need like 85, 86. I don't know if we'll get that. But let's see what happens when we go over 925 or 930. I want to see what happens. So go over there. Please sign up. I appreciate it. Eric, we're going to DR 14th of October and plan to do one-day passes at a few resorts, including Margaritaville and Cap Cana. Really? We'll check out our project and we'll give you an update. We're closing in 2025. Okay. Do they still have you on the February, March, April 2025, or do they got you in the July, August 2025 category? Because as you know, I'm thinking soonest December 2025. With what I saw last time, I haven't seen anything in the last 6-7 months from the last time you sent me something. E. White, another investor extraordinaire, is here, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, what I have on my chest, this man, emerging millionaires in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. E. White with that icon next to your name. I humbly appreciate. And he brings his tagline, hey, Eric, Southwest Airlines have plans to fly from Nashville, Tennessee to Punta Cana. Oh, nice. I didn't hear that. That is great news. Hey, any extra flights to Punta Cana is always a win-win for everybody that has invested there. especially for everybody that has invested at the right price. Because when they eventually go over the amount of tourists that can stay at the hotels and they have to stay at the condos if they're coming, that's going to be in 2 years. Well, yeah, 2026 is my estimation, because that'll get them, they should be at 12 million passengers by air. And if it maintains at 60%, that would give us the 7.2 million, which will now get you into the 120, 130,000, 140,000 people by air every month, every week. And so now you would have enough people to overflow, because the all-inclusives already during prime time and higher seasons, which is now like 8 months, 6 months, they're like 90-something% occupied. So it's not like they can add an extra 3,000 people. They're like 97, 98. I mean, they're up there. That's why they keep building more all-inclusive resorts. But that's when it starts spilling over. And if they get up to the 14 million number, which I anticipate in 4 years, then it's game over. Because anything above 14 million, according to my calculations, that gets you now people, there's going to be thousands of people saying, I need a place to stay. And that's what you want. You want the demand. All right. Well, this is great, E. White. Very happy to hear this. Thank you for that update and information, Mr. Emerging Millionaire. Victor Morrell, closing by summer, but it may be end of year 2025. We'll have a better picture next month. We need that passive income, even at 50% occupancy. Anything is better than $0 income. Exactly. Exactly. And that's what's going on right now. Whenever they have delays, that's the thing. It's like, it's a catch-22. It's kind of like, damn, man, we can wait 2 years. We can wait 3. But when we get to 4 and 5, it's kind of like, eesh, I could have used that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 3, 4 years back, and I would be doubling my money because the stock market has doubled again. It's kind of like, man, dude, you're killing me out here. That money could have been earning damn near 10 G. $60,000 could be earning like 10 G's annually. That's how crazy this is. And your portfolio increasing in value. That's how crazy this is. I mean, so it's hard to have this, $60, $70, $100,000 sitting in a black hole and earning zero, when you know good and well as an investor, you'd like, at least I'd be getting $10,000 a month or $10,000 annually, if not 20, if not 30. So that's where the problem comes in. And so, but anyhow, it's already a thing that's done. He's willing to wait, as other people are. And that's what's going to happen. I expect December 2025. From the last pictures I saw, I figured it was December 2020. If they get earlier, I hope so. That'd be awesome. It would be awesome to have someone from the DR Department of Tourism give us a presentation on the future projections. They don't do that. They don't do that. If you're referring to the projections for the tourist numbers, no, their whole thing is they are trying to get everybody. So they're going cruise, they're going air, they're going, like right now, they're somewhere doing a tourism expo. They're going all over the world. They were in New York, they were in Miami. In fact, they might be in Miami right now. Miami, they're all over. They're in Spain, they're going everywhere. African nations are coming over in a couple months. They have some UN WTO meeting in the DR. So you have to understand, they're doing it piece by piece. They're saying, okay, we'll get another airline from there to bring in an extra 20, 30,000 passengers to the DR, right? So that's what they're doing. We'll get from Colombia, we'll add another 20, 30,000 from there. When Ukraine and Russia ends that BS, then we'll be back to 200 and some thousand people coming from Russia, and then whatever came from Ukraine before. So you'll automatically add that back in. So that could be 250 to 300,000 people annually. So before you know it, you've added 1 million people just by adding the countries. They also started adding another airfare from Cuba, which is the #2 spot in the Caribbean that people go to. So now you're going to play back and forth between 1 and 2. So that gets you another few thousand more coming to the DR. So that's all they're trying to do right now. They're looking for any place they can get an advantage. The Open Skies Agreement also means airlines from the DR can now be in other airports, such as Dallas, Chicago, Nashville. It could be airlines can be in United States airports where they were restricted before without the Open Skies Agreement. So again, how many more people that's going to add? Well, maybe it's 50,000, maybe it's 60, maybe it's 150, maybe it's 400,000. But that's what it's going to start accumulating to. So that's why in 2 years, you're going to have like 12 million by air is my estimation. And that's going to be the interesting part. Can you go from 12 to 14? And how long will it take you to get to 14 if you can get there? And the way it's looking, they can get there. Because the whole island is basically it's just forest, quite frankly, underdeveloped for all these years. It's incredible. So I believe it's going to be awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap this up. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about. I'll see you at 8:50 p.m. on Wednesday night. Thank you so much for being here once again. I love you guys very much. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, but you know what that means? It's only going to get harder. So you have to prepare yourself for anything that's going to happen in the future. And the future is going to come fast and heavy. 3 years, you have 2.5 years to get your assets. Something that's going to give you a return on your money. Because after that, it's going to be a lot harder to acquire assets because the asset classes it's going to cost you a lot more money. So either way, either you have to go with it or you're going to have to make more money. And it's not just going to be an extra $2,000 a month. It's going to have to be chunks. You're going to have to make $200,000 annually just to live comfortably in about 3 years. All right. Not 100,000 a year, not 75, not 50, not 125, not 150. It's going to have to be 175 for sure and up. And why do I say that? Is because you will not be able to buy a house if all homes cost 700 grand. All right. So I'm just saying, this is where it's going. This is where it's going. If you think there's going to be a crash like 2007, 8, then you can just sit back and relax because then everything will be 50%. But unfortunately, you're not going to have enough people moving. Because the next time the interest rate gets low enough to 3, 5, or anywhere near there, nobody's going to sell their house after that. Because they're going to have a 3.5, 3.7, 3.25 loan, and we're talking 2035 when homes are going to all be damn near over $1 million. So you're not going to go out here and sell that house to go get another house and have an interest rate higher than 3 point something. This is what I feel. We're going to find out if I'm Nostradamus here on this September 23rd, 2024 or not, because when I retire, all these videos will still be up. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's see. We got something going on here. Okay, let me see here. What's this here? Did you know the Larimar Project has a beautiful ad on Facebook? It came through my feed today, and it was pretty impressive, the rendering with the music. Yes, Victor Morel, they've spent 4 years getting their advertising game on. Yes, it does look appealing. This is why people are buying. I mean, not anybody that's on YouTube or watching YouTube, but that's what they've been doing for the last 1.5 years. They've been spending money, putting ads on Facebook, everywhere, social media, Google, everywhere. That's what they're spending their money on, because they don't have any realtors that are really pushing it, because all the realtors are in DR, like, it's not going to be done. It's not going to be created. They're like, it's not going to be finished in 10 years, 8 years, 7 years. That's what they're saying. The first phase. So all these beautiful renderings showing a townhouse, showing villas. I'm just like, showing the golf now. I get those, I get stuff too. And I'm sitting there like, damn, if this was legit, well, it is legit, but if they were actually building something right now, could you imagine the sales for Larimar? Their townhouses, their villas, their condos, their condo hotels. I mean, this thing would be going berserk. Imagine if they actually had a second or third or fourth floor in a tower done. Oh my God. But yeah, we have some people buying. We have a new guy that bought just a month and a half ago. He bought the first floor at Horizon Building, $274,000. Swim up. Free, included a golf membership. The golf memberships prices have went up. They're not going to be $5,000. They're not going to be $15,000. But there is one thing that's in his contract that I saw that was sweet. Anybody who owned, well, I shouldn't say this. He owns at Horizon. His contract may be different than other people's. Hey, Eric, let's get. So, his is different. He owns at Horizon. Horizon is the gym, so he has special treatment. But he's saying, which I haven't confirmed nor denied it. I'm not even dealing with these guys right now. But the point is, I still haven't gotten any refund. I still haven't heard back from them. It's still nothing happening. I'm still not sending any payments in. So I don't know what's going on. But the point is, just like everybody else in DR, no money's probably coming back or whatever. I got to sue them or do some bullshit. But nonetheless, that contract says that they can use the clubhouse at the golf course. And the way it reads, it seems like every owner can go to the clubhouse at the golf course. So that's very interesting. But we'll see how it all plays out, because nothing's being built. We're just sitting here waiting, seeing beautiful pictures, seeing the new guy all excited, telling us all this stuff is going to be done. Meanwhile, people that have owned there for 2 years or more are sitting there like, okay, we heard this before, man. That was like 2 years ago. I mean, it's like, for him, it's new. For us, it's, we heard this before. Nothing's happened. The only thing that's happened is they have an environmental license. But that was something they needed to clear in the first place. So for them to actually tell people things are going to be built in 2.5 years, they knew that wasn't going to happen. Because without the environmental license, you can't even start nothing. And after you have that, you have to get your permit to start building. So you automatically knew 6 months to a year was going to be permit time anyhow, with or without me needing an environmental license. Then when you find out you need an environmental license, well, then how long is that going to be? That's an unknown quantity, right? So there's no way you're thinking you're going to deliver anything in 2 years or 30 months. Hell, the thing is, you probably shouldn't have even, you should have automatically put in 2 years to 2.5 years before you can even think about building the worst case scenario. So why would you make somebody's payments 30 months? That's silly. Because you might not even be able to start building until that 30 months goes by, which we're into 24 months right now. So that made no sense. It should have been a 4-year payment plan. So then at 2.5 years, you would have said, okay, we're going to start building, or hopefully everything gets done. If it's not, we still have another 1.5 years or so. So that would have made a better look, because then people would have said, oh, it's going to be delivered in 2027, January, February, March 2027. So even now, people wouldn't be freaked out. they'd be like, okay, well, nothing's supposed to be built anyhow until 2027. So they must have had to get some permits cleared and all that. So no big deal. But they didn't go that route. They're going the route of when it gets done, and we don't have no reason to talk to you. It's like kind of weak. Real weak. They're still waiting for the environmental permits. Those came in for phase 1, correct? I know it's frustrating, but I think we're all going to be happy once we walk into our units. No, basically, it's not a permit. It was just an environmental license. Basically, what we call in America the environmental impact report, and also the environmental impact license that we need in America. You know, you have to go through everybody, call the neighbors, make sure, do the whole thing. That's what they had to do. It took a year or more. Who knows how long it took? But they have over 800 acres. So they had to go. I mean, that's a lot of acres to cover. So now, after they have the environmental license, now the permits, Victor Moreau, and the permits can take 6 months, 3 to 6 months if you have a certain title, which I don't know if they have it. And so now the permits could be 6 months, 3 months, or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. So the fact is they haven't started building. So July 23rd, August, September. So now 2 months have went by. They haven't started building. So it's on point. The permits clearly haven't been approved in 2 months. But that doesn't mean it's going to be approved in 3 months either. It could be approved 6 months from now. It could be approved 9 months from now. It could be approved 10 months from now. So they still can't build anything until the permit's approved. So, or start. And there's no way you're building 17. I don't even care if it's one building. You're not building 17. You're not building a floor a month. You're not, even if you could build a floor a month, you got 18 floors. Well, hold on, sorry, 17 floors. You have a 15th floor with the penthouse. So you have 15, 16 floors. And remember, you have a roof on your 16th floor. So that makes it the 17th floor. So you're not building 17 floors in a year. That'd be one floor a month. That nobody does that. Not even in Miami. Well, maybe in Miami. I'm trying to think. Maybe in Miami because they have cranes and they have everything in a small space. But still, that's very hard to do. So if you did a floor a month, that's a year and a half. So, and then to tell you have 5 of those buildings. They're not going to build 5 buildings a year and a half, a floor building. That's not possible. So now the question is, how many floors can they build? And according to the normal Punta Cana 4 floors and 5 floor complexes, well, it looks like 2 years, 3 years. It looks like 3 years to me. Once they start, 3 years. And that's basically a floor every 2 months in each building, 5 buildings. And actually, it's going to turn into 6 and 7 buildings because Paradise 1 and Breeze Tower 1 we're going to be in phase 2, and they were supposed to be delivered in 2026. 1 in December and 1 in June, but let's just move everything to December 2026. That's a year and a half from now. Or sorry, that's 2 years and a half from now. So that's 30 months. So from today, that's 7 buildings, that's 17 floors high. And when you start doing the mathematics on it, like I always use math, because there's no way you can get around it. 7 times 17 is 119 floors. Divide that by 48, you still can't get there. That's 2.4 floors a month on all 7 units. I don't see how we get there. I just don't see how we get there. Just that's not going to happen. 2.5 floors per month means shoddy work. And you can't do shoddy work on 17 floors, let alone 1 or 2 floors. But 17 floors, you got towers that can lean, tilt, if not built right. So that's where I'm at. So Victor Marrero, if you think the weight that you've done is crazy, which it is, 6-7 years, I think that's what we're talking about with Larimar. For the first phase, not the second phase, the first phase. I think that's 6-7 years from now. And so from now, that's what I think. Because we're going to do 5 floors, 17, that's 80. That's 80 floors. And 24 months or 12 months a year, I mean, that's 7 years. I just don't see it. What I do see is if we said 17 floors for one building, I could see that in 24 months. But trying to duplicate that 3 or 4 times at the same time, I don't see that. Because you would have to duplicate it. I'd have to do 24 months, 17 floors, but I got to do it 5 times, 24 months each. So we're going to need the same amount of crew at 5 buildings. I just don't see how that's possible. Plus, we still have pools to get built. We still got to deal with the golf course. We still have lots on a golf course that some people might want us to build, or somebody's building. We got water, sewer, electricity. I just don't see it. It doesn't make any mathematical equation sense. So yeah, I think, okay. Yeah, Victor Marrero, here's the problem. Also, just like you see the Connor Rock condos, right? Your condo's not going to be that much different than the ones that's already built. That's there. So when you walk in your place, yes, it's going to be nice that it's done, but the 6-year or 7-year wait, it's kind of bittersweet. So now when you walk in, you have it, it's brand new, but then it's going to turn into the reality of the situation. If you don't live there, then what are you going to do? I mean, do you care? Or if you're not planning on staying there any length of time, I mean, like past like a month or two, and you're going to do Airbnb, then you're moving into the next phase. You're hoping like hell that you can actually rent it out for it to make sense. Because if it turned into where you can only do like 30% occupancy or 25% occupancy, I don't know what it would be. But let's just say it was a low occupancy number. And let's say you can't get but 175 per night, 200 per night. If that, I don't know, but maybe, a year and a half from now, it might be that. And you don't get 60 or 70% or 50% occupancy. Now, is it going to really be worth it? That's the question. If you get $30,000 a year, and out of that, you get $1,200 per month profit, is that going to be good? In your case, or some people's case, it may be. In other people's case, it may not. But, is that going to be good? 5% on your money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's like that's a long time to wait for 5 to 7% on your money starting in after 7 years. So, and there's one other factor. If you own in the DR, Victor Marrero made me just remember this. I think his property has a confertor. The question becomes, when did the confertor get approved? Because the date that the confertor got approved is starting the clock for 15 years. So if it got approved in 2019 and then you don't get delivery until 2025, 6 years have burnt off. So instead of 15 years, you only have 9 years of confertor. That's one of the other little things that have happened where people are going to find out on delivery. They're going to be like, yeah, that's great. I don't have to pay taxes for 15 years. And then they're going to get the bad news going, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they might say something crazy like, oh, well, you have Confiture, but it's only for another 8 years. So luckily, though, the taxes are not off the wall. They just do 1%. So that's not too bad. But still, why would anybody want to pay $2,000 per month? I mean, annually for their property tax if they don't have to, right? Or it actually is going to work a little different. But nonetheless, you're going to pay like the difference between 170, 180, and 230, $50,000, $500, right? So you're not going to be bitching about it because you're going to be making money. But luckily, it's 1% for now. But who knows? DR is going to have to raise money for water, sewer, infrastructure. Who are they going to tap? We know who they're going to tap. So I would expect that property tax number to not be what it is. I expect them to raise that. And some other things that they're going to do, because they're going to realize with all these projects and all these towns they're building and creating that they don't have enough money for infrastructure. And where are they going to get it from? They can't get it from their existing citizens. They're not going to sit there and say, hey, we got bonds or anything, so we're going to tax you more. Their citizens don't make that kind of money. So they're not going to go that route. So who are they going to tax? They're going to tax the property owners. All kind of taxes, which is actually going to put a hamper on your rental numbers. Because if you have to end up paying or charging your customer an extra 20% because you got to pay 2% property tax and you got to give 18% or is going to be added to the bill for your short-term rentals, that's significant. What does it look like if you try to charge $250 per night at 18% that's going to be added on by Airbnb? All of a sudden, that's 300 and something that you don't, it's gone. Charging the customer $335, $345, and 18% of that you don't get to count. And now you get 50% of the 250, 125. That's where things are going to be kind of weird. So hopefully we get enough tourists and everything will be fine. So we'll see. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night. And once again, be safe out here because, again, you never know what's going on. There's a lot of people under stress. A lot of people are dealing with money. A lot of people are dealing with the lack of water, food. You just never know. A lot of people are homeless. It's going to get worse. Now, how's it not going to get worse? You always need, you know what? You need more money. And I need more money myself because I'm getting hit hard with the short-term rentals. So basically, 6 streams of income, 5 are toast. The 6th one is getting burnt. The 7th one is not even worth talking about. It's just kibbles and bits. So now selling assets. Not too bad, but unfortunately, selling an asset takes months. I can't just say, hey, you want to buy this thing, right? So I have to sell assets now. So luckily, I'm involved with some other business stuff that we're trying to sell that. It's already been 1 year, like I told people on Friday, 1 year that the property still hasn't been settled or purchased properly. Somebody wanted to buy it. They did deals. And now it actually, because of there's multiple buyers, it has to go through another arbitration type of thing because it's in San Francisco too, by the way. And so you just don't sell buildings. You got, because it's the other companies trying to turn it into something else. So there's more to it. So this isn't a done deal. So that's what's going on. But anyhow, this is what has to happen. Got to sell assets now. So we get some little cha-ching. But the fact of the matter is 6 streams wasn't enough. 7 streams wasn't enough. I got to get more streams now. So this is why we have the SSN lifestyle, and that's why I have put that into play, which would have been another stream for when we sell property for the SSN lifestyle. And that also means I have to reactivate what at one time I wanted the SSN lifestyle membership and all that, but I don't trust anybody in the DR. That's the problem. So I can't implement it how I intended it to be originally because I don't trust anybody. The Panorama Gardens that I was going to do was going to be part of the SSN lifestyle. It's not even finished yet. This is from 2020, 2021. So this whole time, we would have to be using some of these condo, hotel, timeshare properties as part of the thing, when in fact, I wanted to use Punta Cana as the base. And all the properties I would have had, none of them would have been done. Except for, well, no, none of them. I was getting ready to say the one at Primavera 2, it was almost a year ago. Well, it was December where they sent the letter out saying delivery of your project, but we don't have title yet. Nobody still lives at those condos, so something tells me the title hasn't been delivered yet. So what can I tell you? So even that would not even been on the playbook yet. So 4 years going on 5 would have been on hold. And now I don't even want to do business with people in the DR because everybody is playing games. What they say they can do, they can't do. Or they're being optimistic. Let's just put it that way. So I can't rely on any of their timelines. I can't rely on anything they say. I can't rely on anything they show me. That 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath villa that was $288,000 that I discussed a few weeks back. I can't even talk about that. Yala, buy in Santiago. Projects move faster. Yes, Yala, I know. Santiago is a huge city. Oh, Santiago. Oh, sorry. I was thinking Santo Domingo. Santiago, yes. That could be a very good choice, which I haven't even talked about. But yes, as far as investments go, that is a good location because of the close Jarabacoa is there, and also the highway and everything that they're going to be making going up to Sosua, Puerto Plata, and Punta Bergantin. So yeah, I agree with you on that. There's a reason why those properties are moving and moving fast at the moment. But again, I'm not. My experience so far in the DR over the last 4 years has been not good. Let's just put it that way. Things are not good. They're doing things a little bit, even though there's. I've always been a promoter. They're doing things that are restrictive. Things like, for instance, there's no oversight on the developers or anybody saying they're developers and buildings and not building and all that. Sue them, and then courts 2 or 3 years, and people are losing money. They've lost money. They lost property. They've been screwed. So all this goes on, and the government cares about tourism. Meanwhile, you have to have a level. You have to start at an easy level for investors. And so now you have thousands of people who have bought property there, and those thousands of people who have waited for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, just like Vanessa Comagate came in here tonight and said, hey, well, how's your guys' projects going? She's been gone for like 6, 7 months working on her latest thing. She comes back and everybody's in the same position, holding patterns. Nobody's projects are delivered that were supposed to be delivered like 2 years ago. And so it's another year goes by, no delivery, and more people just, give up, and they don't have anything really good to say. But yeah, Santiago would have moving fast. I could see that. That's what's going to happen. It's in the right location. He goes Santiago, Dominican Republic, lots of investments, and president is focused on Santiago. Yes. And then Jarabacoa. Exactly. That's what I was saying. And then it's Punta Bergantin. All that goes together, and that's why they're making that special highway so you can get up there to the airport, to Sosua, Puerto Plata very easy. because of that. So that means it's in the pipeline. It's almost like Punta Cana 3 years ago, right? So I understand that. But the problem is all those guys doing pre-constructions, all these developers and all that, they've done so much damage to a lot of people that purchased in Punta Cana area and in by eBay and in on the eastern part of the island. Sure, you're going to get some more people who don't know anything about that stuff and they're going to go buy there. But for me, I think it's going to be more of the same because there is no rules. I think just because they say it's going to be delivered in 2026, I believe it'll be 2029 at this point. Best case scenario. So that's where I'm coming from. And I'm not afraid to say it. Everybody gets pissed, but all I'm saying is now I'm dealing with, I have responsibilities. I'm not just a person that's like, okay, I don't really care, man. Get their money. If you tell them it's going to be in 24 months, but we know it's not going to be until 50 months, that's kind of wild to me. But anyhow, yes, you are correct, Yala. You are correct. Santiago, Jarabacoa, and Sosua, Cabarete, Punta Bergenton, all that's hot. And it's going to be hot over the next 3 years. I agree. And they have great prices still. That's the other thing. Prices are good in these locations. So we'll see. But thank you for chiming in. I appreciate that. Even though you almost didn't get in because I'm about to close this out. But I thank you for mentioning it because those are hot spots. And I actually did a video on Jarabacoa like 2 years ago. That project is not built, by the way, but it was 2 years ago. I can't remember the name of it, but I mean, they're building it, but it's not finished. Like delivery was supposed to be like, I think it was like another 7-8 months. So it's no big deal. But the point is there's nothing about it. It's going to be very interesting. All right. Santiago projects are sponsored and projected by banks. Your money is protected by fiduciary trust. Yeah. I know. I understand. Yeah. It's like, they started doing this stuff up in the Punta Cana area where they said, you have a fiduciary, it's going into a trust, and then others were like insurance, and you could pay for the other. Well, the bottom line of the story is I don't know what that means because the problem is on the island, if somebody says it's going to be delivered in 30 months, if we're talking about a condo project, 30 months, and it's ending up being 60. I mean, that's a huge difference. It's not like 30 months and then delivered in 36 months or 38 months. We're talking years after. And I mean, it's by the best name, Noval even. So because everybody, I mean, how many workers are you going to have, right? I mean, there's only so many workers that could be on the island, and you got thousands of projects. So they can't be all in one place. So that's what, we're going to be. And in my mind, I don't really care where it is on the island. I'm not thinking anybody's delivering on time, especially if they say 2 or 3 years. If somebody said 4 years, I'm not even good with 4 years. Because if somebody does say 4 years, what I want to see is I want to see them start building in year 1. Then I'll believe 4 years. But if I don't see you breaking ground in 10 months or 12 months, then I'm like, oh, this is just like everybody else. We'll see this in 4 or 5 years or 6 or 7. So that's where we're at with this. Something else has to change. I don't really care about the money protected or not, because all I know is all of my money that's sitting on the island that people owe me, whether I have a trust, whether I have business, whether I have personal. Nobody wants to send their money off the island to me. So I can't even talk about that stuff. People owe me money, and it ain't no freaking 5 Gs. All right? It ain't no 10 Gs. So if they're not sending me my money back, I'm not getting ready to partake in their games, and I got to make sure that they're going to have everything rolling. I'm not going with, we don't have our permit, we don't have our environmental impact license, we don't have this, I'm not doing that no more. So that's why I haven't really dropped any videos in a while, because there's only 7 Palms is the only one that has delivered close to on time, because all projects have a 6-month in their contract. They have, you can deliver, let's say delivery is January 1st. They all have a 180-day extension. So they get 6 months later. The only people that's delivered anywhere near there on time is Seven Palms. That's it. Nobody else. So when you do 99.9% of people have not delivered on time, it's very hard for me to go to the middle of the island and think Santiago is going to be any different. So I'm just saying, even Harabacoa, any different. Sosua Cabarete. The only thing that's cool is Sosua Ocean Village. I talked about them 4 years ago. That project, they've done all kind of things in 4 years. Multiple condos, multiple villas, their beach club, homes, villas, everything. A nice little community, a school, a community center. Man, those guys have been on point. And they still allow people to pay no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, do 7-year, 8-year, 9-year, pay here, no bank loans. They still have that. So I got to give them nothing but love. All right. Man. Yale, I hear you. Respect. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm just saying like it is, man. And so whenever there's something like it is, then you have to look at it from that standpoint. If you want to invest over there, then you gotta pretty much. I was getting ready to tell you guys the story about that 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath project, Arbella in Vista Cana. The guy's talking, I'm thinking he's going to deliver the units. And then when he said, I've done buildings before, I said, okay, let me get the buildings. Let me see where's the projects at. He wouldn't name it. He said it was affordable housing. I'm like, dude, you said you've been in business 11 years, 10 years. Surely you can tell me the name of a project that I can go see. Well, I did affordable housing, worked for the government, did something, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, well, send that to me. Let me see what that is. So doesn't give me that. Then finally, I just said, okay, man, I'll tell you what. Send me your ID, your cedula. Send me a picture of you, and we'll go from there. And dude didn't send me a picture of his cedula or himself or his partners. So that's when I said, well, then there's nothing else to talk about here. Because I'm keeping track of people. Because that's when I'm like, okay, I want pictures of people now. So when other people call me up and they say, do you know this person, that person? I look at it and I go, okay, this is this dude right here. And then I go from there. So I'm keeping track of who is dependable, who's reliable, who's like scammers, who's like not developing people's stuff. I have people send me who they have lawsuits with. So now I have their pictures, and so I can match up. I'll say, okay, this guy's name really isn't this guy. This is what I'm talking about. That's why I'm on a whole different level right now, because there's from 2019 to 2020 till now. We literally, in fact, I'm trying to even think if there was a project that's been delivered other than the first phase at the beach. But at the beach, they done jam people up 20% price increase. So now people have to pay 20% more for their unit. But the first 5 buildings were delivered finally in 5 years, but they still got delivered. But other than that, everybody else seems to be lagging. Central Park, 3 years, delivered their first phase, which is on time. Well, 12 months past time, but nonetheless close enough for everybody. Most people's 5 years. So they did theirs in 3. Fine. They got delivered their first phase. So got to give them a little some love, right? But the units are simple. A pool, a fitness center, and that's it. It's not in a complex, like it's almost like just a condo complex. And then they're going to rent them out. Some people are going to rent them out. Some people's not. Well, you're probably going to rent them out. Units are small. All right. Anyhow, thank you so much, Yahweh. We'll be here Wednesday night, 8:50 p.m. Only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody on the way out, smash that like button. Everybody on Instagram, make sure you hit the like, hit the love, hit the follow, and subscribe. And also, be safe out here, like I was beginning to say. And I love you guys. I appreciate your support over all these years. And let's keep rocking. We have a lot more to do because the world is a ghetto, but it doesn't have to be for you. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.